Hi, Karla here. I'm so glad you've joined me on my adventures where I find magic in everyday things and hope to inspire you to do the same. Come along with me as I set up my very first herb garden. And I have to tell you, it was quite an adventure. I will show you my complete setup, the hoops I made to protect the plants, the materials I used to set up the irrigation, and even the plants I chose. So come on, let's go have some fun. When I decided to start an herb garden, I knew I wanted it to be a raised bed garden. So the important question was what materials, what type I was going to choose. So I chose Birdies raised beds through Epic Gardening. I'll put all of their information below. But these are modular metal garden beds that are great quality and can be configured in many ways. After measuring the area that I've designated for the herb garden, I decided on the 6-in-1 Birdie raised bins at 30 inches. They come in varying heights, but I chose the highest, which was 30 inches, because I don't want to have to bend down or bend over every time I work in the garden. I am way too old for that and getting older every day. So, no. It took a month or so to arrive since they're made in Australia and these were back ordered. But it was totally worth it. They're pretty simple to put together, lots of screws and nuts. Make sure you take off the plastic protective film, but it really didn't take me long to get both raised beds completed. Once the bins were leveled and in place, it was time to fill them. While researching various ways to set up an herb garden, I learned how to fill these bins without going into debt. I'd needed 2 layers. Now on the graphic, it says the first layer should be 5% thin cardboard. That really, in hindsight, would have been great had I done that, because I could have used up all those Amazon boxes that I get from my online shopping that I really need to stop. But because I had already had some things I had put at the bottom, I didn't put the cardboard. So the first layer I used was wood logs. Lucky for me, I have a friend who out of the blue asked if I needed any fire logs because they had more than they could use. What? Was that luck? No, that was serendipity. I couldn't believe it. So my husband and I grabbed the logs and started filling the bins. The next layer I used was grass clippings, twigs, small branches, leaves. Every week, I just added more and more until I figured I was about 2/3 of the way filled. I tried to fill in any gaps, smooth things around, so I could now add the next layer, which was compost. And I used chicken manure compost. I added a few bags to each bin, but I have to admit, I think I underestimated how much I really needed. it's time to add the soil. Boy, oh boy, it took so much soil. I probably could have saved on the cost by adding more chicken manure compost because it was so cheap. Every time I thought I had enough soil, I realized I needed more. It was definitely good exercise. After researching various methods for protecting raised garden beds, I decided to make hoops because you can easily change the materials, like I can put up netting or plastic or whatever is needed to protect the plants. So this is what I used to make them. I used 4 10-foot flexible tubing, 1/2 inch around. And then I used 8 pieces of rebar at 2 feet in length, but they were 3/8 inches round so that they can easily slide into the flexible tubing. Putting this together, super simple. First, you want to place the rebar in the 4 corners of each bin. And then you take the flexible tubing and you fit one end on one side of the rebar. Should slide in pretty easily. Slide it on down so it'll be nice and secure. And then reach over, bend it over, and put it in the next corner. Oh my God, why is this not fitting? Why is this not fitting? Stay tuned and join me in part 2 so you can see how this is resolved and we complete the project.